So, good morning, students. Welcome again to Assimilate English with Sadaf. And today we are going to learn non-verbal codes with example. As you all know that our substantial portion of our communication is non-verbal. Experts have also found that every day we respond to thousands of non-verbal verbal cues and behaviors, including our posture, our facial expressions, eye gaze, and gestures, tone of voice, and so on. So, from our handshake to our hairstyle, non-verbal details reveal who we are and impact how we relate to other people. So, let's get started and let's know what are the types of non-verbal codes. Non-verbal communication types include facial expressions, gesture, paralinguistic, such as loudness or tone of voice, or body language, proxemics, or you can say personal space, eye gaze, haptics, that means communication through touch, appearance, artifacts, and chronomics. So these are the types of nonverbal code. What is the focus of each of these nonverbal areas? Let's see one by one. So number one is kinesics. Kinesics, it is one of the branch of science in which relation of body movements are studied with the help of aspects of body language. All these aspects are are studied in kinesics. Messages are unsayingly transmitted through body movements. So you can say all the body movements of body language comes under kinesics. So, what is a body language? Now, you'll be thinking that. Body language includes all your facial expressions, gestures, postures, eye contact, dress, and appearance. So, these are the examples of different facial expressions you can see in this photograph. Happy face, disgusted face, sadly angry, sadly surprised, sadly disgusted, fearfully angry, surprised. So these are the different facial expressions through which we express without using words. What do these gesture means? Gesture means movement of head and movement of hand. So when you do this gesture, the first one, it is saying that good. Second is come here. Thumbs down, bad. Thumbs up, good luck. Showing your hand towards you, that's me. Both the hands aside, I don't know. So these are the different gesture through which you communicate without saying a word. Now, what is a posture? Posture means the way you stand, the way you sit. So these are the different types of posture. You can see in picture 1, poor posture, leaning body. Good posture, upright back, stand straight. And there's another example of poor posture. So you should always have the middle one, good posture. Now we'll see the sitting posture. Find your neutral sitting position. The first one in the pic is the correct posture. If when you sit, you should sit upright. You should not lean and you should not slouch. So that's the correct posture. Dress for success. Dress and appearance also talk about you and your personality. So you must dress according to the situation. When the situation is formal, you should wear a formal dress. When the situation is informal, you can wear a casual dress. So dress for success is also very important. It means your dressing plays a vital role in creating a good impression about yourself. And as we all know that first impression is the last impression. Second type is haptic. This is the second non-verbal codes of communication. A touch that communicates various emotions is known as haptics. Haptic is related to human touch. It is very sophisticated and most open type of body language. Haptics conveys care, concern, affection, friendliness, encouragement, anger, disgust, displeasure, violence, and hate. So, communicating through touch is another important nonverbal behavior. There has been a substantial amount of research on the importance of touch in infancy and early childhood. As you all know that, how do a infant come to know that this is the woman is his or her mother? Because of the touch of the mother. Touch. So these are the different examples of touch. Patting on back, holding hands, hugging, handshaking, then giving a slap is also another type of touch. Dress for success. You never have a second chance to make a first impression. The apparel often proclaims the man by William Shakespeare. Actually, this slide should be the previous one, but it's okay. Appearance is also a type of non-verbal code. As we have understood, the first impression is the last impression, and you will never get another chance to create your first impression. So, it is important in professional communication. Effectiveness of presentation meetings depends on it. Clothing, hairstyle, and other factors plays a very important role in appearance. So, research have found that the appearance suggested earrings, interest, even mood, etc. of human beings. So, your dress in appearance plays a very important role. So, you should always dress well. Our choice of color, clothing, hairstyle, and other factors affecting appearance are also considered a means of non-verbal communication. So, we must dress well. Now, let's move on to another type of non-verbal code, artifacts. Objects and images are also tools that can be used to communicate non-verbally. On an online forum, for example, you might select an avatar to represent your identity online and to communicate information about who you are and the things you liked. People, often spend a great amount of time developing a particular image and surrounding themselves with objects designed to convey information about the things that are important to them. For example, uniforms. You have uniforms in college. So, uniforms, for example, can be used to transmit the tremendous amount of information about a person. Like soldiers will don fatigue, a police officer will wear a uniform, and a doctor will wear a white lab coat. And mere glance, these outfits tell people what a person does for a living. So artifacts, plays a very important role in communication. So there are the art reflects fact is called artifacts. So it is not just about dressing sense, but the things around you, the objects around you. In the very beginning, I have told you. Many people are interested to collect arts in their home, and it shows their interest. An artifact refers to environment and object. Most of the times, the outside environment shows or indicates inside environment. So artifacts means, if you have a very good classroom with a good bench, with a good whiteboard, or AC in the room with a bright color, not bright, white color, proper ventilation, proper light, that will also going to affect your communication and your learning process. So that comes under your artifacts. Now let's move on to proxemics. What is proxemics? So proxemics is an using of space which is used in verbal as well as non-verbal communication. The term proxemics has been derived from the word proximity, means nearness or closeness. The people of same opinion come very close in the relation, whereas those who keeps distance in thought have no closeness. Those who do not take space or pause indicate hurry or not so confident and want to complete before others understanding. So, for your better understanding, people often refer to their need for personal space. So, proxemics also refers to personal space and nearness, which is also an important type of nonverbal communication. So, the amount of distance that we need and the amount of space that we perceive as belonging to us is influenced by a number of factors, including social norms, cultural expectations, situational factor, personality, characteristics, and level of familiarity. So let's see the example of proxemics. So there are different zones: intimate zone, personal zone, social zone, and public zone. Who comes in intimate zone? Your family members, your loved ones. Who comes in your personal zone? Your friends and colleagues. In social zone, when you are at the party, okay, when you are get at seminar, when you are at presentations, okay, and party at office, get together, lunch break, tea break. So there socially you need to maintain some sort of distance. And public distance means when you are a large gathering, when you are at public place, so you need to have distance from the people as per the level of familiarity, and as you know the person, you need to have space between you the and the other person, as the level of familiarity and acquaintance means knowing the people. If you know people, you stand close. If you don't know, so you maintain a long distance from that person. So the amount of personal space needed having a casual conversation with another person usually varies between 8 inches to 4 feet. Then, on the other hand, the personal distance needed when speaking to a crowd of people is around 10 to 12 feet. So, that is the example, and it is clearly shown in the picture. Next is chronomics. Chronomics means study of time. Chronomics refers to using of time, which is substitutely known as manipulation of time. It is important that time factor must be kept in mind for any speaker. The way people use time reflects their personality. The person behaving according to clock shows punctuality of nature, as I have told you that. I will give you your example. If you submit your assignment on time, you will get good marks. But if you submit your assignment late, your marks will be cut on the basis of punctuality and sincerity. So that's the importance of time. Next is paralanguage. Paralinguistic refers to vocal communication that is separate from actual language. This includes factors such as tone of voice, loudness, inflection, and pitch. Consider the powerful effect that tone of voice can have on the meaning of a sentence. If I say, I'm not feeling well, my tone of voice is not going with my word. But if I say, I'm not feeling well, so my tone of voice is going with my words. So your tone of voice plays an important role in expressing yourself and letting others the right and the exact meaning of the sentence and your intention. So, paralanguage is the voice intonation that accompanies speech, including voice pitch, voice tone, and the rhythm of speech. Paralanguage is most similar to verbal communication. However, it sends non-verbal messages in all phases of communication process. Paralanguage refers to not what is said, but how it is said. See the example. If I say, "You're looking pretty," my tone of voice is not going with my word. But I say, "You're looking pretty." So my tone of voice is going with my words. So it is not what we say, but how we said is important. So that's your all the non-verbal codes. I hope you have understood all your non-verbal codes very well. As you all know that in the end, I want to conclude with that non-verbal communication plays an important role in how we convey meaning and information to others, as well as how we interpret the actions of those around us. So the important thing to remember when looking at such non-verbal behavior is to consider the actions in group and what a person actually says along with his or her expressions, appearance, and tone of voice might tell you a great deal about what the person is really trying to say. So I hope you have understood all the non-verbal codes very well. Thank you for listening to me. Have a nice day. Bye bye and take care.